Right. Whew. Morning, everyone. You catch me today. Catch me like that. I'm at Tunnel Farm, and I'm looking to catch some F1s on Maggot today. There's a quite a big match today. They've got teams of 4 event, I think, today. I'm on where am I? Canal peg 3. Looks like a lovely peg. I've got a left hand margin down to my left. I've got one to my right, and I'm going to fish in the middle. So I've got 3 lines set up. I haven't started. I've plumbed up. That's it. I haven't fed any bait yet. So I'm going to feed left hand edge, right hand edge. The sun's going to get out of the way. I'm fishing off of these reeds. I think that the fish are going to like that for a little bit of cover. And I've got a 3rd line, which is just down the middle. I could set up a 4th or a 5th. If I was to do a 4th, it would be to the far bank, to that that pile of rushes. I think that would be holding fish at this time of year. And I could fish a short line just under my feet, but I'll start with 3, see how I get on, and hopefully we're going to catch a few. So lots of maggots today. I just need to check if I can chuck them or whether I'm better off just firing catapult somewhere in between. Right hand side is a throw, left hand side is a throw with my right hand, and then in the middle I think it's going to have to be a catapult, short little 2-put. So that's what we're going to do today. I think I'm going to start in the middle. I know I'm fishing maggots, but I've set up a bulk rig, so I'm looking to fish on the bottom. I'll just go over that rig now. I've got blue hydra in the pole. I've got a Richie Wilson 4x14 slim style float on an what's that, 017? Yeah, 017, down to a bulk, 1 dropper, 4-inch hook length, size 18 SLWG on an 013. And that's where I'm going to start. Hopefully, even though I'm fishing the pole, you should be able to see it today, because I'm going to fish a bit more forward. I'm not fishing that far out, so I can hold the pole slightly differently. It's a lovely morning. The sky's nice and clear, nice blue sky. The sun's rising to my right in the east. There's one angler on my left on peg 1, and we're the only 2 anglers on the lake, and we'll probably be the only 2 anglers on the lake all day. There's loads of different lakes here at Tunnel Farm. Bottom pool, top pool, new pool, house, extension, club, Jenny's. Just to say that someone's drawing up on the far bank. Maybe today's a good day to practice. There's a bite. I don't know if you saw that. Maybe not. Slight movement on the tip, on the float. And a small fish. What's that? Little skimmer. Not too long. 1/4 hour. There's a little skimmer. This is where anglers that fish all the time have got a little bit of a benefit over anglers like myself who don't fish very often. I know that might seem like I fish often at the moment because I'm doing loads of fishing over Christmas, but generally I'm not fishing as often. And they just get much better at throwing bait accurately to where they want to fish. And when you're fishing the feeder, or you're fishing the long pole or something like that, it doesn't show up as much. But when you come to when you come to doing this sort of fishing, where you're feeding your edges, you know, it really shows. You know, that's where you can spot an angler that fishes a lot versus an angler that doesn't fish a lot. That style of fishing, and how accurate is their feeding, which is a real big part of fishing. Another little bite then. You know, you're keeping that bait nice and tight near to your float, or you're spreading it around all over the place. And the more you spread your bait, the more you spread the fish. It's important to be consistent in your feeding. That's a bit of fish. I'm sure what was that? Tiny little stocky F1. I think last week at Gold Valley I was catching them. They were 3 odd pounds. There's one that's about 8 ounces. It's going to grow up to be a monster. Looks like it's 2 furthers coming up. Not very big brother, but big brother indeed. This fish is like a little block of ice. Better ground. Let's tighten that plastic up a little bit. Tiny little F1s, little stockies as they would call them. Fish have been only in there a year, or probably this year's actually stocking. I was talking to someone the other day, when you start putting your fishing on the internet, you start watching it back and seeing what you do. You certainly think a lot more about what you're doing. About the decisions you make and the rig set up and that type of stuff. You know, right now I'd be sitting there going, I think blue hydro's wrong. It's not balanced to the lines I'm fishing. There's a fish. Now I know that's the case, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to see how the blue hydro worked, and then I've got a grey. I should really have another white, but I've not got another white made up with me. But it's important to balance the rigs for the fish you're catching. Actually, I think this blue's alright for catching these F1s. Actually, it's nice and soft. It's definitely got better, whether it's because the fish have come on, but it's got better. Just been a little bit more careful with my feeding. I'm feeding a little bit less. I can sort of get into this rhythm of catch a fish, feed, catch a fish, feed, instead of feeding over the top, which is what I was doing to start with, and it's not right. I need to eradicate it from my fishing. It's a bad habit I've got, especially with this F1 style fishing. You know, you need to feed for the next bite, not feed the swim for 20 fish. I think what was going on in the peg earlier was it still might be the case now. There's more bait than I want or need in the peg to get my next bite. So I might need to cut my feed down a little bit. Maybe a little bit too much. If it wasn't too much, what would happen is I would get a bite straight away. If all the bait was getting eaten, you'd get a bite straight away as soon as you put it in, but I'm having to wait for my bite, which means the fish are working their way through my loose offerings and then getting to my bait. So I'm going to feed, but I'm going to feed less. Let's see if I get a bite quicker. I should put a stopwatch on the edit of the video. See how long it takes me to get this bite versus the previous bite. The other thing that can be having a factor is that it's taking the time for the bait to fall through the water, and my rig is bulked at the bottom, so it just hits the bottom straight away. It doesn't float slowly through the water levels, or the levels of the water. It can also have an impact. In effect, my hook bait's arriving too early compared to the rest of the bait. Which, believe it or not, is quite a big thing. I wonder how long that was sitting there with it in its mouth for. So the edge rig is pretty simple. White hydro, same again, 017 to 013, size 18 hook. It's a 0.4 Drennan crystal float. Same rig again, down to a bulk and a single dropper. The bulk shot there, there's the single dropper. These other lines. That was 1/6 of a pole less than in the front yet. Now I've been chucking loads of bait down both of my edges. I've said loads of bait, I feel like it's a bit too much. But we'll just see if there's fish here or not. It's obviously shallower in the edge, but it's shallower in the edge where I'm fishing compared to down the middle. They might be in this shallower water in the cover of the reeds, but they might not. So we'll just have a look. If not, I'll slow down the feed slightly and carry on fishing down the middle. No indication yet, but I'll give this another 5 minutes or so. See if there's any indications, and then I will. Oh, I'll say that. Look, I can't get a bite. Right, get back down. Maybe a bit too much bait was going in. I don't know. Let's see. I've got quite a long line on these rigs today. The minimum, unless they've changed the rules, I don't think they have. The minimum on the line from float to the pole top is 4 inches. This is about 6, 7, and I've got over a foot on the other rig. I wasn't sure if it was going to be windy or not, but if this was in the middle of summer, I'd be fishing a much shorter line between the float and the top of the pole. makes you hit those bites a lot more quickly. I'll be fishing a tighter line as if I was to lift that up a little bit, but not today. I just wanted a bit of maggot fishing practice. And I'm lucky enough to live a reasonable drive from probably what I would say is, you know, one of the best, if not the best, maggot fishing F1 venues in the country. You know, there are other fisheries available, but Tunnel Barn Farm is prolific. There's no other word to use, I don't think. Fantastic, maybe amazing. Maybe there's quite a few words I could use to describe the place. Just lay that rig in again. Perfect, you know, if I'd have hit that bite, I'd be like, you know, what a good example of laying your rig in, holding it back a little bit. Fish has watched it go down and then the fish has had it. Well, another bite or another minute, I've got to feed these other lines. And feed this line again, and this time I'm going to feed this with a pot. I do remember, I think it was listening to Andy Bennett talk about fishing at Tunnel Barn Farm in the summer, I think it was. And he was discussing about throwing bait down the edge, and he was saying, yeah, you know, throw the bait in, maggots in the summer, throw them down the edge, and then when you go to fish the line, just put a pot on and feed it from a pot and just tidy everything up and get those fish focused on the bait just under your float. Just feel that's what I've got to do here. Right, let's put a pot on. I'm not sure this pot's going to empty the bait quick enough, so I might need to. Probably what you want is just some ground bait made up. Put the maggots in, just plug the top with some ground bait, stop them coming out, and not this drip drip. It takes too long, I think. So I think I'll have a quick look, see if I've got a spare lid, and cut another lid up a little bit. I think I want the bait to not drop out as I'm shipping out, and I want it all deposited really quickly. Right, I'm just gonna just cut some more. I thought I have the right tools for this, really, with me. That's better. There needs to be a big enough hole that the bait will fall out faster, but not so big that it all just falls out. Right, let's try again. Now, okay, perfect. I can rattle all that bait out immediately. Look, it's all gone in, and then I can drop on it. Now that hook bait's right over that little pile of bait that's gone in. Whether it helps me to catch more fish, I don't know, but certainly felt better, and maybe 2 bites. It's a third. Okay. See, I like it. This one of the day. Right, it's definitely working better since I'm putting that bait, I think. See, what I should do, should do is I should feed it now. So there's bait there. Net the fish. Much bigger one that, isn't it? And then go back out. My angling coach is probably watching right now, saying, finally, it's taken you all that time to decide to go and feed. Why do I look in the fish? If it was the summer, I'd feed again. At this point, it's taking me too long to get back out. Keep those fish there. But when I speak to him on the way home tonight, he tells me that that's exactly what I should have been doing, I'm going to say. But I don't know how much I want to be putting in at the winter. Let's empty that bait. And he'll probably tell me I should judge it based on how quickly I get the bites. Maybe I'm just being impatient. Maybe. Just fishing down my left hand edge at the moment. Been having a few bigger F1s. I caught earlier in the session. Top 5, top 6 out in the middle. And the slightly smaller stamp, so I fed the edge for an hour and then I came in. I've had more weight in the hour that I fished here than the hour I fished out there, I think. Right, come off that, I think. Doesn't feel quite right. But I've had a few, so that's all good. Let's go back on the long line. See if we've got a different stamp of fish. Loads of fish here. Loads of fish. So I'm undecided. I've got a sandwich I want to go and eat in a minute, and then I want another look down the edge. Just trying to think of the way to do it, and I want to try and put that camera down there. But am I going to catch down the left hand edge or the right hand edge? Tell you what, where would the camera be best? I don't think I'm going to see bites down the right hand edge. I'm going to get my sandwich. I'm going to reposition this other camera that I've got here. I'm going to go and move it down the bank and point it down to the edge where I was fishing. And I'm going to see if I can get some bites. Just got to try and remember where it is. So it's there. Okay. Get back down this left hand edge. See what there is to catch. I've put the other camera. It's pointing right at the spot, so hopefully I'll get a nice little bit of footage. Same again, I'm going to feed with the pot. Let's see if we can catch some fish down this left hand edge, and then we'll have a little go down the right hand edge. Right, just tackle that bait out. Drop the rig. Remember, catch nothing down here now. Oh, there we go. It's what is going on there for that to happen? Curse that. We'll put in the camera there. Right, let's see if I can get the fish off this right hand side to finish. If not, I might be finishing on the skimmer. Importance of far bank markers, I think, today has taught me. thought I'd be alright fishing down the edge, but I've lost my way a little bit with markers. Not been disciplined enough with it. Okay, F1 to finish. It's at this point where I'd say, if you've got this far and you're watching and you're not subscribed and you've enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button. And if you already are subscribed, then I appreciate that. No end. It's a free way to help the channel grow. Every subscription and every time you hit subscribe and like, it helps boost the channel, so thank you for that. Bunch of new people have found the channel over the Christmas holidays, which is great. So I think I'm going to call it there for the day. So thanks for tuning in. It's been a bit of F1 skimmer maggot fishing down at Tunnel Barn Farm. It's been a fantastic day. I'm now going to go home, get ready for the match tomorrow. There's a few things I want to do slightly differently. I need to make up some different rigs with carbon stems to have just in case I get that feeling again that the F1s are up off the water, up off the bottom, and remake a couple of edge rigs and be fully prepared for what may come, and pack some ground bait. So as I said, thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching the next one, which might be tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Thanks very much. Ta-da.